Okay, hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing the MalwareTrafficAnalysis01, and let's just get started. Let's read the challenge details, and it's very short. The attached PCAP belongs to an exploitation kit infection. Analyze it with your favorite malware tool and analyze the challenge questions. Okay, as always, we have our tabs at the top that we'll use. Now it's very short, this one. It's actually quite easy, so let's get to it. Okay, so question 1. What is the IP address of the Windows VM that gets infected? So I've opened this up in Wireshark, and immediately I see 172. Now 172 is important because 172 is a private IP address. So what we can do is we go through this, and we can also see all of the other IP addresses in here. So we go to Statistics, Conversations, we go to IPv4, and we can see a whole bunch in here. So 172.165 keeps showing up over and over again. There's clearly a lot of things talking to this computer. Now we can double check our findings with Brim. If we take a look at this and go into, if we open up the PCAP in Brim, if we type in 172.16.165.165, which is the IP, the private IP, we can already see some red flags, literally. If we filter out the alerts, we can see that there is malware being sourced from a 37 to 172. So clearly 172 got infected with something. Okay, so we're going to answer 2 and 3 at the same time because the answers are very close to each other. So what is the host name of the Windows VM that gets infected? And what is the MAC address of the infected VM? So what we're going to do is we're going to open this. We're going to close that because we don't need that anymore. And to find the host name of a computer, we can look through DHCP, and you can see if my previous search is already coming up. If we go through the DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, and this is used to assign an IP address to a host. Now even further down, we have something called a Bootstrap protocol, which we could also use. This has to do with UDP. We can use the same search here as well. So if we go boot P and hit enter, the same result will still show up. So if we go through this dynamic host configuration protocol, we'll actually come right down here and it says host name, and there's our answer right there. It is pretty straightforward. Now on top of this, we're looking for the MAC address as well. It is clearly not the broadcast. It is this one right here, F019AF029BF1. Go back to our blue team. Here we are. You can see there's our answer right there. Okay, so the next we're going to do something interesting. We're going to answer 4, 5, and 8 at the same time. I'm going to show you why. So what is the IP address of the compromised website? What is the fully qualified domain name of the compromised website? And what is the redirect URL that points to the exploit kit on the landing page? So what we're going to do is we're going to open this up in Wireshark again, and we're going to do 2 different things here. We're going to search for the HTTP requests over this IP address, as well as we're also going to open this up in Brim. And if we filter this here, we're going to filter the HTTP traffic just so we can get an idea of what happened. We're going to put the oldest to the top so we can get a bit of a timeline of what happened here. So it looks like a user went on Bing and searched for Cindy Holland. Cindy Holland showed up. And then if we scroll down, we can see something else happened down here. There's 24 Corp Shop and stand.trust and probatereality.com. So if we go through our Wireshark, we're actually going to swap this to a source instead of an ADDR. And we're going to get something that looks extremely similar as well. We can see 82.188, and then a 37, much similar to our Brim security right here as well. 82.188.37. So let's just start taking a look through this stuff. So the first 82, we're going to follow the TCP stream. And this is the HTTP of the website itself, as well as the JavaScript involved. And the thing that we notice if we start scrolling and looking through this is that there's actually something very suspicious here. We have something called an iframe. And its visibility is hidden, and we can see the script starts up here and goes to here. So right off the bat, so if you don't know, an iframe, let me bring this up here, is an inline frame used to embed another document within the current HTML document. So if you take a look at this, HTTP 24 Corp has nothing to do with Cine Holland. Has nothing to do with Cine Holland up here. So this immediately is suspicious. Why is this here? So if we go back to our question, what is the fully qualified domain name of the compromised website? We can see that the website that was compromised was Cine Holland, and the IP is 8.2. If we bring this up here, bring up Brim, we can see that this website was clearly compromised. This is the IP here. If we look at this as well, we can also see the 8.2 IP here as well. And the number 8 question, which I want to bring up, and why we're solving 8 at the same time, what is the redirect URL that points to the exploit kit landing page? So we can see within the Wireshark, this is the redirect right here. This is the one that is suspicious. So we're going to go a little bit further what this all means. So I did this in one of my previous videos, but I'll do it again here, is that I made a little map for myself. So we know that this is the infected host. And if we go up into Cine Holland here, we can see that something happened here. This is a compromised website, and we know that 24 Corp has something to do with this as well. I know this is giving a bit of a spoiler. So we know there's a malicious website embedded in this. We don't know how they're connected just yet, but we're going to leave this up just so we can visualize what we're doing. So, question 6 and question 7. What is the IP address of the server that delivered the exploit kit and malware? What is the fully qualified domain name that delivered the exploit kit and malware? So we're going to actually combine these two together because the answers are so close together. What we're going to do is we're going to open up, not that one, actually yes, that one. We're going to open up our Wireshark, and we're going to filter out the HTTP traffic with our private IP. And I want us to go back to our first HTTP stream of us going to the user going to the Cine Holland website. If we scroll down, we'll see it here. Visibility hidden iframe 24 Corp. Now, if we go to Brim Security, we can see the 24 Corp references the 188. So if we go back to here, we're going to punch in this again so we can get down to the 188 stream, which is right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to follow this HTTP stream as well. And I'm going to put them next to each other because I want you to see the difference between these two. We can see that there's a 24 Corp iframe. But within the 24 Corp website, there's another iframe. And this iframe is now referencing another site called stan.trust and probertreality.com. And that's where we start to see this one down here. This 37.200 is the stan.trust and probertreality.com. We can go even further and check this. If we check the events of the private IP address as well. So if we swap this out, and actually I'll show you how I do here. This is just a command, but obviously right-click filter here. We can see 37 alert 172, and it is the exploit is clearly coming from 37.200. So if we go back to our cyber, what is the IP address? 3700 or 37.200. What is the fully qualified domain name? StanTrust and probertreality.com. So, question 9. Other than the CVE 2013-2551 IE exploit, I think this is a spelling error. What other application was targeted by the exploit kit, EK, and starts with J? Provide the full application name. If we go into Brim from before, the answer is actually right here. Java, Java, Java. Just keeps coming up Java. So we take a look. It's Java. So, how many times was the payload delivered? If we go into Wireshark, we can type in our IP address again, which is, let me bring it up in my notes, our 172 address, but we don't want to put it to the source. We want to put it to just anything that talked to it. And by doing this, we also want to filter the HTTP as well. Let's spell that correctly. Fantastic. So what we're going to go through here is we actually want to search through the word called download. And we're going to see something show up. We're going to see one show up at 1991, 2379, and 2977, If we hit it again, it comes back to 1991. Another way we can check is we go to File, Export Objects, and this is probably the better way to do it. And we type in, and we go up to here, and we see download, download, download. We're just flipping the content type, and we can see download 3 times. So that is our answer here. 3. The compromised website has a malicious script with a URL. What is the URL? Now, we saw this earlier, but we're going to do this again anyway. It was the 24 shop cop, whatever it was called. Corp shop. And I'm going to show you how we found it again. We scroll through here. This is the malicious website right here. That is being called by the iframe. Extract the 2 exploit files. What are the MD5 file hashes? What we can do is we can open up Brim, and we know the malicious website now is the 3.7 website. It's 3.7 200.69.143. If we hit enter, it'll filter out a whole bunch, and what we're looking for is the file. So I'm just going to copy and paste my command that I have for my notes, and that looks like this. And it's the same. You get the same thing if you just right-click Files, add search, just like that. I'm just going to put it in manually here. If we scroll to the right, we'll see Java, Shockwave, Shockwave. And this is the actual malware application here, and I'm going to show you how I know. Here's the file hashes that we found here. And if you just scroll to the right, you'll see the MD5 hashes. So there's one way to find it. One way we can also do it is to actually do an MD5 check in Kali Linux itself. So if we go to File, Export, HTTP, and we're going to flip this content type, and we're going to take a look at the Shockwave Flash and this guy here. So if I save this, you're going to hear my malware, or you're going to hear Windows Defender go off. So I'm going to call this MalwareTrafficAnalysis01. I'm going to put this in the CyberDefenders. I'm going to put it in my file here. Oh, it didn't go off. It'll probably go off in a second. I'm going to save the other one as well. MalwareTrafficAnalysis02. Oh, maybe it's not going off because I already gave it permission to be safe. Okay, that's fair. But MalwareTrafficAnalysis02, hit enter, and we have both. I'm going to go back to our command line here. We type in MD5, and it's showing up for me because I've already typed it in once. MD5 sum, malware1. There it is the first time, and there it is the second time. Now, the way I figured this out was just literally by exporting everything the first time. Let me open this back up. Wrong order. No, that's fine. I just exported everything, and eventually I got the right answer. You could also just analyze this yourself and go through it. So that's it there. There's your answer for the 7B and 1E. There's the 2 MD5 hashes. So to close this up, I drew a little map for ourselves here. So this is the infected host here. The way it got infected was by browsing to the website of the compromised website. There was a malicious iframe within the website. This iframe tells the host to download the malware from this host over here. So this was a much shorter one, obviously. This was a much more easier one. Thank you for watching. All right, have a nice day. Bye.